Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Russ, introduce the guests, man.
Today we have one of the starlets of Irish MMA. It's the one and only. It's Dean the Sniper Barry. Dino, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, lads. Thanks for having me on.
Sniper gang back in the house.
Yeah.
Sniper gang is here. Baz, when you put that song up on that Instagram story, like, absolute genius. Dino was like, my walk, how's that bad boy?
No,
I love that song.
no, it's always, I always like when I get a song to match like the team, and then Sniper
Yeah, it
gang
looks
was
good.
it. Yeah. Well, the Dean Barry will be back on UFC Fight Pass. It'll be at Titan FC 77 on Friday, the 3rd of June. Dean, welcome to the show, bud. How are you keeping?
I'm doing great, lads. Here, I actually have a couple of I don't know if you have them. I have a couple of UFC snapbacks if you want them for your live. You can use them.
Oh, sound man, appreciate that.
Don't wear them, but they gave us a few of them. I have like 4 of them there, so if you just want 2 of them, I'll throw them to you. And don't know if you want to wear them because I know you do stuff.
If Ross taps you out in training, then we can have 2, right?
Oh, geez, we waited a while for Dino, won't we?
Dean, we have to mention you're going to be back in the cage on Titan FC 77 on the 3rd of June. It's a Friday on UFC Fight Pass. But we have to go back to the start, Dean. Like, you went over to Vegas, you fought Mike Jackson, and then you didn't get the result you wanted. In the build-up to it, you were on our show. We wanted you to get the win. You didn't get the win. Like, can you explain to us what happened after the fight?
Yeah, it was just a weird experience for me. Like, and then fighting that much heavier at that weight, you know, like as I said in one of my other interviews, like I did, like Andy will vouch for me as well. Like I did no sparring or nothing for that fight. I couldn't do anything because I got a bad injury in the gym, and I was just lifting mad heavy weights, man, and just doing the odd little run. So when I stepped in that cage, I just felt like I had an out of body experience. I just wasn't myself, and it led to me getting sloppy and making mistakes due to not having the proper training for the fight, you know. So it was just all over the place, man. It felt like a circus act for me. Like, and then after the fight, I came home. I had a couple of days to, you know, like let it heal basically. And I just said, you know what, like I could sit around here now for months and just be upset about because I knew what happened the second the fight was over because it was in my contract that I had to get a win. I had to get the 5 wins, and even though it was a DQ, I knew what was coming. So, and I knew the backlash that was going to come online. So I just gave myself a few days to try get composed and deal with it. And then I texted my manager and said, I'm ready to go straight away. I said, I'm not waiting around. And he said, are you sure you'll be ready? And I said, when is the closest show you can get me? He said, June 3rd, it's only around the corner. And I said, book it. I said, I don't care against who. I said, I'll be ready and I'll be at 155. And I haven't stopped training every day, and like 2-3 times a day. I started getting back into my kickboxing, that loose style, everything, and sparring loads with the lads and everything. And just, I feel just that whole experience is after just making me get that fire again and find the love for the sport again. And I really have now, and like I'm enjoying hard rounds, I'm enjoying everything, and I'm on such a strict diet now, and since I got back and I've dropped all the weight and I'm flying. I feel fantastic, and I'm ready to go. Like I'm fighting June 3rd, and then I'm looking to get out at the end of June. Then I'm looking to get out in mid-July, and I'm looking to just go boom, 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 boom these next few months.
Ross, as we said off the air, after Dean got disqualified, you said this is either going to be the making or breaking of Dean Barry.
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of a DQ like that loss like that could, like, you know, it could kill someone's hopes and dreams, you know what I mean? And like, it's great to see you back in there so soon afterwards. I do want to touch on the fight itself. Obviously, it was a strange affair. Firstly, what did you make of Mike Jackson's sort of, I'm going to call it guard defense? The way he sort of defended with the hands, he was, you know, bit this way, bit that way. You know what I mean? It was almost like a karate style. Did that throw you off a little bit? Because
not even the slightest. No. It's like that, and I'm totally honest with all that stuff. Not in the slightest. He just kind of stood there. But the only thing what made me get a bit reckless was because it's like one of them things. If you say you're in a room with dummies and you're just talking and it's the most brain dead conversation, you almost bring yourself down to that level and you start being thick yourself. And the same thing with fighting. Like anyone will tell you, if you spar someone who's only new in the gym, say, or just less, and they're a bit sloppy and wild, you start getting wild and sloppy and you start doing stupid things and you're like, hey, what's going on? What am I doing here? Like, so that happens. Somebody can bring you down to the level. It's the same if you fight a very advanced guy. you're really switched on, and it's much cleaner fight and stuff. So with Mike, he wouldn't engage in the fight with me. Like, he was just kind of standing there, moving his head a bit, and then I was waiting on Mike to throw a jab, and I was going to pull and counter. So Mike kind of knew that, and he was throwing a hook. He was throwing a long, wide hook, and when we got in the cage, he was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I was finding it hard to get that judgment of the range. So when he was throwing a hook, when I was feinting to get the bait of the jab, he was throwing a hook. So I essentially couldn't lean and straight right. I had to come over the hook. And I landed it a few times, but it ended up being just a wild shot because I couldn't get, every time I tried to do the straight punch, I just clashed with him. So I was like, what is going on here? And then I threw 2 side kicks and I creased them with them, and then, bro, my body just started fucking shutting down. I just felt the weight. I felt the weight in my arms, my legs, my stomach. I just felt horrible, and then I just kind of went ham and tried to kill him. And I was fighting very emotionally. Like, this, the build up of it, the months and months of the shit from people, from the even fight week getting shit off people. I felt like I had to prove I was. If it wasn't a knockout, like they still talk and say shit if I didn't go out and absolutely kill him. And then, so that's what every shot I was throwing was like a kill shot, and I just got reckless, and I let the emotions get better me, something I never do. And you're gonna see a vintage performance from me next week. It's gonna be just back to me being that flowy, skillful style. And even now, back in the gym, like, I'm sparring with the boys and like the top boys in the gym, and I'm back to getting into my nice, comfortable, flowy state, and I'm non-stop moving and all. Before that fight, I was moving, I wasn't doing nothing, and you could see it.
And the other sort of weird moment of that fight, because to be honest, the eye poke, I don't think it was that weird. You sort of like try to post off him, and like,
Yeah.
that's just where your hand went. Like, you know what I mean? I think, like, yeah, it looked nasty, and everything looks super nasty when you put it in slow motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, that's like, the fights don't happen in slow motion. So I think that just was what it was. But when you hit him with the spin kick and you caught him in the cup, but then I thought it was very strange. And tell us what your thought process at the time, when, like, he's lying on the ground for 3 or 4 minutes and he's having a chat about the ref. Like, he's asking the ref basically what he's having for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about that? That was very strange. I've never seen anything like that before.
That was very annoying because he played it up and he's like, good shot, man. Good shot, Dino. Shout all this shit. And then I'm sitting there going, this fella is acting up completely, like, and he's playing it up. And then even like the commentators are like, if you get a nut shot, you can't speak a word. Fair enough. I accept I fouled. I made a mistake. I spin kicked him low. That happens. I made a couple of errors, but that's something that I've never done before. So it was a bit new to me as well. And then seeing how he acted up on it, and he played it up because he wanted to get the recovery time, because I was lighting him up really, I was catching him with some heavy shots, and then they were wild, but I was still catching them. And then the eye poke, same thing. It looks nasty. I tried to frame up. I didn't frame with my hands out like this, you know what I mean? I had my hand up to try push him off because I was about to finish him, and I wanted to get him out there. He's holding his eye, he can't open his eye, and then all of a sudden the doctor said he's okay to continue, and he literally says, I don't want to fight this guy anymore. Those are the exact words he said. Then I was like, what is going on here? And then the ref DQ'd me, and they just made an example of me because there was a lot of controversy over the several weeks. And then unfortunately I was at the end of it. It was my own fault. I made mistakes, and I accept them now, and I've learned to live with them. And backstage he's walking back high five and everyone laughing and joking, and I was like, this fucking
Another question on that. Do you think that fight didn't happen in the Apex and it happened in a venue with a live crowd? The DQ might not have happened because people could clearly hear Daniel Cormier say on the commentary that, the ref won't have the bottle effectively to DQ him, and then next thing you know, he DQ'd him. Like, the ref clearly could have heard that. Like, you can hear nearly anything in the Apex.
I can't really say, bro. Like, I feel like that referee had his mind made up regardless if it was in a big stage or a big stadium, or if it was in the Apex. Like, he did, maybe, they're swayed a bit as well with what they hear, but he did say backstage, he was like, he kept going on about finger pokes and eye pokes. He's very strict about that. So, like, and then obviously that's in my bleeding head, and then I poke him in the eye. Like, what are the bleeding chances of that? And then, but to be honest with you, I as I said, I've done interviews where I felt really angry and emotional about it all. But now that I've got myself so healthy, got my mind healthy, my heart healthy, my body healthy, I'm super fit. I've learned to live with it, accept it. I'm happy. I'm grateful for the experience. It's helped me grow. It's helped me get back training hard. Because if I had went out and knocked him out, I would have just been clowning around again and barely doing any. Like, I could count on one hand the amount of MMA sessions I've done for that fight, and that's a fact. You can ask anyone in my gym. Like, I was just doing my own thing really, and so it woke me up, and then it just adds to the story, like it adds to the what I can tell my kids. Look what happened to me. I got released. I got back. Then I got released. And I got back, and it's not as if I went out and got beat, and then they released me and said no. Like I got released, and I was told, look, just go out and show me a little bit of composure, and we'll bring you straight back in. That's what they said to me, and I believed them because they've always been straight with me from the start. So, and Sean said he really likes me, but he said I just need to show him a little bit more. So I'm doing it,
And
bro.
then-
Getting in.
And then Dean, last question on that fight for myself. I don't know if Barry has anything to that. When the result didn't go your way, and then you end up in the back with your bro and with Andy, what did they say to you in the back?
To be honest, I can't really remember, bro, because I just remember walking backstage and I was just like coursing out me. I was like fuming, and then they brought me back. At the start of the fight, me and I clashed with each other, and whatever way he hit me, my eye, your pupil, my pupil went like a cat's pupil, like an oval way downwards, and I could barely see. I seen about 3 of them for about 2 minutes, and I was like, what? That's why I got wild in there as well. Like he kind of hit me a check hook, and I was like, what the hell? And I think he knew he hit me as well, But when I got backstage, the doctors were checking me out, and he was like, look, showing Andy and all. He's like, look at his eye, and my left pupil was like a whisker, like a cat's eye. It was weird, man. But then they just rush you out straight onto the bus. They escort you from the cage, basically. Doctor checks you 2 seconds, boom, gone. And I'm on a bus just going back to the resort, and I'm just like, what is after happening here? I didn't even have time to process it, So just as I said, it's heartache and it's painful. What, like, this sport is absolutely cruel. Like it's the hardest sport in the world, bro. It's like I'm getting stuck back in now because I'm ready. I'm ready to keep going. I'm ready to get straight back in and show people, like, look, this doesn't define you,
Yeah, it's it was definitely
It was wild.
It was a bizarre and wild debut, but look, you're going straight back in there. You're straight back at it. I suppose first thing we'll touch on is you said you weren't in the gym as much as you'd like to be for the last fight. Are you making sure that you're there, multiple times a week this time out? And do you feel more driven fighting at 55? I find sometimes if some fighters don't have to cut the weight, they're actually less focused. Do you find the weight cut and the diet then just makes it laser focused on everything else?
Bro, way better because you're on a routine. You have a structure in your life. You're disciplined. I weigh all my food now. Like, everything is weighed. Like, even just cutting out small things. Like, I used to drink like 2 or 3 cappuccinos a day, bro. They're like nearly 200 something calories each. Add that up over the whole week. Like, you're putting in thousands of extra calories. Same with all these little small things. Now I weigh out my food, and I'm very strict with it, and then I'm very strict with my training times now. I'm always there early, even on Saturday now, going up having great spars with the lads, and I'm making it a priority that, like, you need to train. Like, these are your days. There's no excuses. Doesn't matter how you're feeling. And then when I get there, I really enjoy it. And even the lads are saying I look great. I look much healthier, skinnier, and I look just real fresh and happy. And I'm finally happy again. I haven't been happy for a while because I felt like that's what I spent the last 2 years trying to prove something, trying to prove myself, and trying to prove to people, oh, I do belong here, trying to represent my country to the best I can, and like trying to, like, all this pressure. And now, bro, I've hit the biggest switch in my life where I'm going out here not to prove to other people. I'm going out here to prove to myself this fight. I'm out here to prove this to myself, make a statement to myself, and do this for me and my kids, no one else. I'm doing it for, that's it. And now it's after giving me a killer focus. Like, I swear I can't describe how motivated I am. Like, I'm even at night time, I'm out running after wrestling, sparring, everything. Me fitness is through the roof now. And in the space of 4 weeks, I've done a full 360. It's nuts.
You definitely seem like you have, Dean. Like, I mean, I know in the build up to the last fight, we were looking forward to seeing you fight, but as you said, you weren't in the gym that often, and like that was sort of known around this area, and like I think everyone just thought you were gonna go blow away Mike Jackson with the click of the fingers, and like, it goes to show you can't overlook anyone. And look how you look like a brand new person today compared to the Dean we had in the UFC fight week.
Yeah, and it's not even that as well, but a lot of it to do, I wasn't in the gym a lot, is because I had a lot of personal things going on outside of my life. Like, I had a lot of stuff going on, like my little brother, like it's just probably the first time I tell people about that. Like, my little brother, like, we had to get him into rehab and stuff like that, and he was like going through like he was on the peak of like dying. Like so, he's my baby brother. So I was going through all that and getting him into treatment, and he's clean now, and he's like a new man. So he's inspired me so much. Like he's lifted me up. He's amazing now. Like I'm so proud of what he done. Like, and so I was battling all that, and now my brother is completely clean. The last 3-4 months, he's doing unbelievable, and it's fired me up and saying like, look what he done. Like, and I can do this, and yeah, man. I'm just getting back to it, and I'm getting stuck in, and I'm enjoying it again. So I have no distractions in my personal life right now. That's why I'm always in the gym now, and I'm always on a good routine. And that's the thing. I had no structure the last time. I was just going on a bleeding 5K run, like for a UFC debut, bro. I'm going down the gym and lifting mad heavy weights and punching a bag. And I was just avoiding the gym because I had a lot going on, and I was like, I just don't want to talk to people or like face people or people touching on me. Like I can get very weird about stuff like that. And then I start speaking with like a mind coach and stuff like that, and I finally just addressed everything, and I feel like I'm just going to excel really fast right now.
Well, that's what we want to see, Dean. We want to see, you on a personal level. We just want to see you in good space and good headspace, and then obviously as an Irish fighter as well, we want to see you putting the best version of yourself forward, and I feel like that's where we're going to get at Titan 77.
Yeah. So the guy I'm facing now, I can't even pronounce his name, but he's way better than Mike Jackson, like way better. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt from Brazil. Yeah, he's a Muay Thai style fighter, 5-5, 10 fights. He's a good rear naked choke on him. He's submitted a good few people. He's got a good ground game, and he's aggressive style, comes forward with heavy 1-2s, rear kicks and everything. And that's what I want. That's the sort of fight I want, because I'm going to bring him into my world, and I'm just going to move and pick him off the second he flinches. I'm going to crack him, and I'm at that. And my weight is so low now where I'm going to have that speed and energy to keep moving. So, like, I'm going to show people now. Like, my manager sent me a Tapology. I didn't even look at it. I could send you a screenshot of the matches, and he said, perfect. Like I do all the time. I don't care. Like, just get me the fight. It's a tough fight, and it's the sort of fight I need coming back. I didn't want it an easy fight. I didn't want to fight someone crap. I wanted to fight someone who's well-rounded, and this guy is very good.
Yeah, Dean, just before we get more into that, can you tell us exactly what the situation is with this fight then? Like, if you win this fight, are you back into the UFC? Can you sort of just clear up those little those rough edges?
I don't know. Like, he just said, show me, get me another turnaround fight quickly. I just want to see him composed and see him back at 155. And so look, I could go out here now and put on a beautiful performance and like an absolute clinic, and I could get called back in, or I could have to go fight again. So that's why I'm saying, like, I've devoted my life to it now, where I'm ready to go straight back in after this fight. I'm going to keep my weight nice and low, and I'm going to be ready to go. And that's all that matters to me. Is if it's not the fight after this, I finally learned to be accepting, to learn to accept things as they are, and not be like wishing for this, wishing for that, and wishing my life away. I've learned how to just enjoy things now and enjoy the sport and fall in love with it again. Because when I do that, that's when I'm at my best in the cage. And now I've addressed everything, and I think I really am going to show like an amazing performance.
Watch this space for us in UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah, some might even say Dean Barry feels energized.
Do you know what? I feel energized after, bro. I swear to God, I even feel more energized after talking to you boys.
Energized therapy. I think we might start something there, Ross. Keep that to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Dean, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, also, how are you getting the job done on the 3rd of June at Titan FC 77 live on UFC Fight Pass? And if you're in Miami, you knock in for the crack.
Hopefully I keep my 100% finish rate in the first round. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what everyone hopes for, isn't it? But look, I'm gonna feel the fight out, and just wherever it takes me, whether it's a punch or a kick, we'll see what happens. But a nice spinning kick, that's what I'd hope for. But we'll see, we'll see how the fight plays out. And I'm looking forward to it. Just a shout out to me gym. The guys at Team Rhino have been so great support from me since I came back from the fight, and they've really motivated me again. The lads are pushing hard, and yeah, man, it's just a great place to be around. I'm very grateful.
There you have it, guys. Shout out Dean Barry. Make sure to go show him some love come the 3rd of June at Titan 77. If you have watched this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to not miss any more Energized content. And as always, stay energized.
Stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.